Hey, it's Camila Stevenson. Around here, we talk wealth, and we also want to talk about how we keep our wealth. Put a one in the chat if you were able to see the president's tweet or comment about the Clarity Act, and put a two if you did not see that. I want to know if you guys have been keeping up with what's going on with the Clarity Act. We're going to go over a few things. I want to give a few updates, but then I want to share something even more important than what I'm going to start with. So just rock with me. I see you've seen the president's tweet. Got it. TikTok to the Clarity Act is passed. Should be happening very soon. Man, that was some good information because you know what? Um, I think every day we're hearing something new. There's a lot going on. Okay, there's a lot going on, and I want to get you up to breast with a few things, and I don't want you to lose track of the bigger picture because one day it's this, the next day it's that, but there's a bigger picture that I want you to keep track of. Now, while you're coming in, please go ahead. I hear or I see a lot of people. I can hear you though. I see a lot of people saying hit the like button. So do that favor for me. Why? Because it don't cost you nothing. It's all love. It's your way of saying, I'm spreading kindness to your channel right now. So go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. What's going on? DC is in the house. Class is in session, and we got what's up from Germany. I love it. What is up? Crypto is slowly going up, but hey, that means nothing for now. These it's still we're still just in a sideways trend in a sense. There could be some pullbacks even if Bitcoin goes up a little bit more. Not sure. There are no guarantees. There are no confirmations right now, and so we're just moving sideways. And listen, let me just tell you something. Let me give you wisdom. Go ahead and hit that like button, and yes, take some notes. Um, if you don't have enough XRP, you should be accumulating right now. Okay, you should. Now, so for those who've been investing for quite some time, what I'm personally doing is I am nibbling a little here, a little there. Like I don't, when we was down a couple of days ago to 136, hey, I'm buying. And I'm accumulating some of the other coins as well. And so if you don't have a lot of XRP, you should be accumulating at these prices, okay? And um and then hey, if we drop, then maybe you can, have some dry powder on the side to buy a bigger order. So that's the way I'm playing it. But if I didn't have a lot of XRP, I would just be trying to accumulate every time I get a paycheck. I'd be trying to sell something right now if y'all want to really be honest. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a bigger picture, and I'm gonna talk about something that I think is extremely important. First of all, nothing I say is financial advice to you. Everything is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Do not listen to what I say and then go and blow all your money because you don't have an emergency fund and you haven't structured your finances right. All right. Do your own due diligence, right? How much is enough XRP? Well, you know what? If you don't have even 100 XRP, if I didn't have 100 XRP, I'd be trying to get to 100 as fast as I could. If I could get there tonight, I would. And then after that, I'd work my way up to, of course, 250 to 500 to 1,000. I think 1,000 is a great. If you don't really have a lot of XRP, I think a 1,000 is a great aim. Okay. Uh, I think 3,000 is enough to just not even ever have to think about it in the future. As we, again, this is a long play. Okay. This is not, it doesn't matter if XRP were to reprice or something were to happen because of, a reverse carry trade or anything like that. It's still, I'd still be looking at it as 3,000. Long term, I'd be looking long term, and 3,000 is more than enough. Now, when somebody get over 10,000, then they are at the I don't know, 2 to 5%, 2 to 4%. And you got to realize too, as time goes on, that that percentage is going to decrease. Why? Because a lot of people are going to sell. Okay, it's just that simple. So you gotta, yeah. If you're holding on to that much, if this is your long-term play, then that percentage is going to go down a lot. Okay. All right, so you're not late. We're just getting started. Listen, a couple of updates I want to let you know. There's some amazing things happening. First of all, Kraken, powerful, powerful, powerful. They just received a Fed master account. Now, let me explain to you what that means, okay, if you don't understand it. A Fed master account means that you're operating on the same payment rails as like a JP Morgan or a Goldman Sachs, okay? So they are the first digital asset company to ever get that access, and they have waited for it because they tried to get it back in 20. I think they applied all the way back in 2020, and they got denied under Biden's administration. They got denied for a while, but now it is approved. And the reason why this is important is because Ripple already has a national trust banking charter, right? So if the door is open for Kraken, guess who coming next? Ripple is standing right behind them, ready to get in. Okay, so that is awesome. Second thing is, of course, yes, Donald Trump has came out publicly and told the banks to stop blocking the Clarity Act. Get your act together and stop blocking the Clarity Act, right? So he is kind of explaining that the banks are trying to undermine crypto's agenda, and he doesn't want to allow it. So it looks like he's teaming up with the exchanges. Okay, and then Brad Garlinghouse came after that and backed that up and said that it was in America's best interest to get the Clarity Act done. All right, so interesting. And then remember, this is something we talked about on Monday, and then I'm going to talk about something even more important. So go ahead and like the video if you haven't already. Is BlackRock's CFO did confirm that they plan on, and this is important. I'm always looking for signals, y'all, the stuff under the stuff. But they confirmed that they plan to tokenize all of their ETF products within the next 3 to 12 months. Okay, all of them. And I'm gonna get to a couple of the comments. So the reason why that, and when I say all of them, I'm talking about stocks and bonds and gold and everything. Okay, they can't do that without the Clarity Act. So if they're saying that and they're giving a timeline, they don't just give timelines unless they understand that something is really coming. They don't put themselves out like that. Institutions don't put themselves on the line like that. So it's very, very important. All right. Can we use a revocable trust for crypto? Yeah, absolutely. You can your cold wallet can be designated to your revocable trust and irrevocable trust. And when I say 100 coins, yes, I mean when I'm talking XRP 100 XRP. So 100 XRP, not $100, 100 XRP. But guess what? It's easier to get 100 XRP today than it was a year ago, right? So we're at the lowest prices it's been in a long time. So it's easier to do that. And I'll explain something, a couple of strategies you can use with that. But yeah, you should be accumulating, right? Okay, someone sent a message claiming to be me and asked how I was and if I wanted to chat. No. Thank you. I'm so happy you said this, and I'm happy that you knew it wasn't me. I will never send out, for anybody who see anything in the comments, I will never send you my DM. I will never tell you to call me, to WhatsApp me, to Telegram me. These scammers are doing that to every financial page. Do not listen to them. I would never do that. Anything that you click is in my description. Nobody can get inside the description. That's why I always say, hey, go to the links in the description if you want access to me. All right. So I will never say, call me. Don't buy it. I don't care if it's somebody texting you saying, hey, we're Coinbase and it looks like somebody just compromised your account. Don't give them, we need your seed for, or Tangible or whoever they trying to act like. They're about to come out like crazy. So please do not get scammed for that. I'm just happy XRP passed the 135. Yeah, I mean, and it may go back down. You know what I mean? So we're just waiting, accumulating, and I think I already answered this question, what's enough, but we're waiting and accumulating. But yeah, 1,000 is a great start. And then as much as you can. Some people are just trying to double their amount. So if they got 1,000, they're like, okay, I want to get to 2,000. Or if they got 5,000, they're like, I want to get to 10,000. It's easy to do at these prices. And I'm going to explain something today that I think is going to help you to that security. Yes, security. Please be careful, you guys. I don't want anything. A guy just said today, a real sweet guy. He said that someone got taken for a lot of their crypto because a scammer acted like it was him and gained the trust of the person. And then the person sent over, a lot of, their cryptocurrency. And so please, I will never, ever. And if you guys ever see that in the comments, if you all ever see somebody send a number or act like it's me, because they come in and they respond to everybody's stuff. And really, I wish YouTube would find a way to validate, people who get on here so that these aren't like bots and AIs and just scammers and stuff like that. But help people out if you see them engaging in somebody who said, call me, or what. I do come on there, and it is me when I respond to people, and I'll heart you first. Okay, that's kind of my way of saying that this is me, that I'm about to say something. I'll heart you, and then I'll send a message. But I'm at Dr. Camila Stevenson. If you look at their names, they might spell my name with 2 L's, or they might put a number behind it. They're slick, and they have my picture, so it looks like me. But I would never send my number. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you guys to know that, right? um uh yeah, say just be greedy and get all you can. All right, let's and I'll see, and you'll see delete. Yeah, swap left and you'll see delete. Yep. All right. Can be used instead of might take off. Okay, so I'm looking at a couple of comments and I'll get to some of them. But RLUSD, you can't compare a stable coin to XRP. There's clawbacks on stable coins, meaning they can take your stable coin. All right, it's programmable. And so they can never, nobody can, the XRPL, the way it was designed, it's a dual design where you can put stable coins on there. And if it belongs to whoever that stable coin belongs to, they can take it off the ledger because it's theirs. And I mean, it could be for different reasons. They can never do that for the XRP. So they function very differently. Honestly, stable coins are nothing but digital fiat. Okay. Why? Because they have regulation over them, like where they can confiscate it and things like that. They can never do that to your, the ledger was designed where they cannot do that to XRP. So they function totally different. Stable coins in general function very different. Again, like and subscribe if you have not already. Listen, I was on a 101 coaching call. I'm going to take a minute to just share something, and then I'll look again at the comments. Recently, I was just talking to somebody on the 101 call, just I think yesterday, and it hit me just how different this world is about to look. I don't think people realize it. And I don't think people even have processed it yet. They don't understand these words, the tokenization and how value is about to be moved. Okay. And if you actually sit down and connect what's happening, you got digital assets that are being integrated into banking systems. Remember, you got BlackRock, the largest asset manager on earth, moving everything on chain. The Clarity Act, you have all of these AI restructuring entire industries. Okay. You got energy markets under attack right now. The central banks buying gold at all-time highs. There is a lot happening right now. When you connect all of that, what you're looking at, it's not a market cycle. I think people think it's a market cycle. It's really a structural redesign of how the financial system will work. And that's why I say, hey, invest in this new financial system. Let me get this super chat really quick. First of all, thank you. I appreciate this. My buddy reallocated his S&P holdings on his route to all XRP. I might do the same. And I mean, the thing is, I'm not a financial advisor, but if somebody don't have any type of exposure to the next infrastructure, just what I'm saying, the whole redesigning of that's not good. I actually just listened to an interview where I can't remember his name, but there's high level financial advisors saying, listen, we're betting on XRP. They feel like XRP has the bigger upside. And just listen to another interview where, the guy was, I can't remember his name, a very intellectual guy, in the financially savvy, but he was explaining that there are some people that have zero exposure to cryptocurrency. And he's like, I just wouldn't do that. At least 5%. Like, you cannot not be involved in this next wave. So I say that to say, like, that's the whole point, is that when you invest in one thing, like maybe the S&P 500, and maybe you have some profit there, you have some liquid there, and you're like, hey, I need to take some of this liquid. That's what the opportunity is there for, to be able to take it out of one asset and reallocate it to another. Now, if XRP and crypto go, to prices that people feel like, hey, I can take a profit and now reallocate to this. That is the whole point in allowing your money to move and creating that flywheel effect. And so I love it. You know what I mean? Everybody has a different plan. They have different risks. They have different, they're different ages. You know what I mean? So everybody has their own plan, but have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, that's the whole point of this video. I really think people are about to get left behind. And I can't say it enough. I cannot say it enough. Like, the people who understand what's happening right now in this moment, while it still feels uncomfortable, because y'all know this is a very uncomfortable time and it's very unclear. There's a lot of uncertainty, but those are the ones that's going to come out on the other side of this in a completely different position. They are. And the people who've been waiting for all of this to make sense and waiting for it to let me feel safe. Let me, one of the things I don't like as a leader is indecisiveness. People who are indecisive, that's not good leadership. You are better off making a move and just having the confidence and the quickness to make that move and readjusting as things, happen. Right? People who sitting there like waiting forever, you just gonna get left behind. You're going to miss it. And you're gonna spend the next decade wondering what the heck happened. You're gonna have a lot of time on your hands to look back and figure it out. And it's going to be a lot of pain involved for you for it to just be in your face nagging at it. Okay. So I want you to understand. Listen, I've been studying wealth for health and wealth for literally over 20 years. I can see the patterns. I can see them. They're all the same. When you have the economy shifting and when things start getting very volatile and when uncertainty starts to rise, there's always two groups of people. There's those who's going to use that season to reposition and come out stronger. And then you got the people who are going to freeze, who are going to complain, who are going to wait. And then you, again, 5 years later, they're going to get slapped in the face. It's just that simple. Make a move. Dollar cost, that's all it takes. Make a move. Dollar cost average. It don't have to be all in. I never suggest that. I always just say, just move. You know what you need to do. Do it. Do it. Is there an updated deadline? It's not necessarily an updated deadline, but it sounds like the way they're talking is that they're trying to push this through as quickly as possible. So we don't know, they keep giving deadlines and stuff. So we don't know what if it's going to change tomorrow. But the whole point is you don't have BlackRock coming out saying that everything's going to be tokenized in 3 to 12 months. That takes the Clarity Act. There has to be something that they know that we don't know. Like everything that you see in the headlines is not what you think it appears to be. And I also want to say this too. Don't get it twisted. Japan is still under some pressure right now. Why are they under pressure? Because they don't need, like, the longer this war goes, the longer time that we are in this, there's going to be pressure being built on their end. And they don't need, we still have this option of oil rising, right? And they don't need oil to just slow, like all they need is for oil to gap up in a short amount of time to put pressure. They don't need a long drawn out situation to happen. If oil were to spike at a crazy rate in a short amount of time, that puts them under tremendous pressure. So we are still waiting on that. I know every day there's something new being said, but again, I'm trying to give you, like, just tame you, give you the bigger picture and have you to focus on something very, very different. And not all the hype in the headlines. I transfer my crypto to Tangent. Should I? Yeah, I think you should put your crypto. Yeah, I do. In an LLC. I think that would be a lot, it would be better for you because then, when you're setting up your trust and all of that, it's just much easier. And it takes crypto out of your possession of you holding on to crypto, right? Because now you're attached to it. And so if anything ever happens, if you get sued or whatever, it just puts another layer of a barrier between you and that asset. Number one, there's a lot of different reasons that I can't get into, but I won't say everything. Yes, they need this thing. Yes. So I'm just looking through a couple of the comments. I'm getting old and gray. Been accumulating since 2017, past the Clarity Act. Yeah, I know a lot of people, and you still got people fighting and saying that you still have people fighting it, and they feel like a bad Clarity Act or the rules not matching what they feel like it should match or whatever is still not better than like they want the wording to be right. They want it to be perfect. They want the rules to be perfect. They think if we compromise, then they rather not have one at all. You know what I mean? So, you still got different, you still got different takes on it. All right. I still remain the same as what I said from day one, which is I think no clarity is worse to me than having the Clarity Act. I think the chaos and the unknown, I think it will keep people in it will keep cryptocurrency in a bear market. Number one, like we won't get institutional adoption. And I think more people will suffer. I think the American people are the ones that's going to suffer. I think the banks will come out fine. You know what I mean? But the American people, why? Because a lot of people do need the appreciation of these assets to survive, inflation even. So anyway, I'm looking at it from from that perspective, but I do get their point of views. I've talked about all point of views, from the banks, from the exchanges, and from the people. You know what I mean? So, but here's what I want you to know. Here's something that I want to process with you, right? About how the economy works. Because if you don't understand this, it don't matter what y'all doing with y'all money. It's not going to work. All right. So I need you to understand something. I need you to understand how economies work, because most people have never thought about how the economy works. The economy moves in seasons, right? It's the same way that nature does, right? You get spring, you get which to me, spring represents opportunity. You get summer, which is growth. Okay. But there is always a up when you're going through these different seasons. You get fall, which is a time of harvesting, and then you get winter. And I really believe that winter brings about this pressure and this difficulty. Now, the problem is this, and I want you to understand how humans are designed. Most people built their entire life during one season and never prepared for another one. That's why people are upset at the prices now, right? Because some people got in crypto like 1 or 2 years ago and they just thought it was just going to the moon. Most people, they build their life around the season continuing forever. And that is just not life, y'all. That is not how seasons work. Winter, y'all ever see Game of Thrones? Winter is coming. Winter always comes, and winter don't care about your mortgage, your subscription payments, none of your bills. If you financed a car that you couldn't really afford, winter comes and it applies pressure to everything that wasn't built to withstand it. I need you to understand that when you're building your financial infrastructure. That's where we are right now, because we have been in and could be still going in. I mean, we're seeing economic stuff. We're seeing energy costs rise. We're seeing inflation, right? AI is restructuring entire industries faster than people can reskill. Debt levels, let's not talk about that. They are historic highs. You guys know that. The car repo was at all-time high. The job market is shifting. It's right under people's feet. It's, jobs are being taken from people. People don't even have a skill set to operate on the capacity that, this world is going. I keep telling people, like, the new world is being built for automation, for AI, for robotics. If you're not in there, I was just talking to my daughter the other day. I was like, I was like, baby, I'm gonna let you, plan your own life, but I'm gonna just give you wisdom about where we're headed. You know what I mean? Like the old way of thinking about how things are gonna look different 5 years ahead. So you need to plan there, right? And so I want you to start understanding that this is bigger than just the economy, and everybody gets caught up in these day-to-day things, right? And I'm not trying to say none of this to scare you, okay? But at the end of the day, all they want to do is print money. I need you to know that, because that's going to make a difference for you. I'm not trying to scare you. People who understand that seasons change and they are adjusting with that, they are going to thrive. They're already cutting, which I always say, cut the unnecessary spending. They're building new skill. They're learning how money works instead of just earning and spending and consuming and all of that. They're already positioning capital into things that hold value during stress. What holds value during stress? That's why I love infrastructure, coins, because they are going to hold value during stress. They're built for stress. Gold, energy, real assets, infrastructure. You got to know what you're investing in. My son is, I love this, because I'm like, baby, listen, if you don't know the skills that's going to pay the bills, you can forget about it. And she wants to be a lawyer, right? But I was like, hey, white collar jobs, they coming for them too, right? Because AI can do things faster than the lawyers, all the research and all that. And it's not going to be any more paralegals and all of this, like the administration, they cutting all of that in half too, right? Well, don't tell nobody how much you got. 60,000 is more than, I mean, you're at the 1%. Anything over like 40,000 is in the 1%, right? So, yes, Tangem card. And I got a link in the description for 10% off on a Tangem card. That's the one I always suggest. It's easy and it's affordable, right? Right. Put in the comments. So I think they responded to the 60,000. Put in the comments and let whoever that is who asked about the 60,000, let them know that they rich. because most people don't have 60,000. So you are, let them know that they rich. Look at the comments so you can, so they can answer your question, so you can know this is a community of people who are invested in XRP, by the way. So this is a different, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna find out, like, hey, you go to your family members, they don't even know what XRP is. So we don't even need to ask them. They're gonna be like, X who? I'm sorry, you talking about X-Men? What you talking about? Marvel? They ain't gonna know what you talking about. Right? They like baller. You see what I'm saying? Look at how many people have. I'm telling you now, a lot of people don't have a lot of XRP. All right. So, but yeah, don't publicly show it. It's already out there, and you know what I mean? So you don't have to let people know, because they'll be coming after you. Right? All right, let's see. New member Dallas, thank you. Texas, Webull Pay or Kraken. Kraken. I like Kraken. I've always liked Kraken as one of, I like Kraken and Uphold. And now, after what happened with them today, you know, the announcement that we got, yeah, like somebody say, I'm jealous, are you single? Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey sister, what do you think about Robinhood's new RVI? Not gonna lie, I dropped some change on it. Have a great, I haven't looked really much into it. You know what I mean? So I can't really tell you, and I don't have enough information to really give you on that. But I'll look it up and see kind of how it's doing. I just have not been right now into, let me see where it's at right now. I haven't, you know, I've been so focused on where the opportunity is right now that I haven't, some of the even the stocks and stuff, I have to kind of catch up. Now, one stock, I will let y'all know this. Y'all know I've been buying energy stocks for one, and wheat stocks, because I love commodities. Um, let's see, I can't even, my thing is taking too long to open up. And I like and I've been buying SoFi. I've been buying SoFi like crazy. I just dollar cost average. I've been buying it for a very long time. Okay. So, but I haven't been really, I need to get kind of, you know, ETFs, of course, Google, Microsoft, Google and Microsoft, I've been nibbling on, but I'm waiting for a crash. I'm waiting on a real correction before I get into the stock market. And I think one is coming. I just do. You know what I'm saying? But that's me. Hey, and if it don't, it don't. Right. So, hey sis, what's Tangent Pay? I think they got a feature where you can pay through, like Tangent. Tangent has a lot of features. I think they're offering yield. I think you can they have integration. So they have third party networks that they work with, and you can actually pay with your cryptocurrency. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but I know also with them having yield and stuff like that, they are working with a lot of third parties. So they got a lot of flexibility with Tangent as well. And I haven't, see, the thing is, and I was kind of looking through it. I was like, oh, Tangent doing some good stuff. But I haven't really, I haven't participated because all of my stuff has been so long term. I haven't thought about getting yield on a lot of stuff. You know, it does, other than the fact that I have wrapped my XRP, but I've been just so long term, like they stored away kind of, that I haven't gotten in on the products and the services and the operations and the functionalities of some of these. Other than, you know, like what I'm doing with my ITRUST Capital and stuff like that. Now I've been keeping up with that. And that's because when y'all think about it, and I'll share a little bit on that in a moment, but I love the cold wallet. Y'all know I say you got to have some sovereignty with your cold wallet, but you also got to think about what would happen if something happened to you. Do your family know how to get to the cold wallet? Do they know what a seed phrases is? Do they know anything about that? Because sometimes that worries people. So to have something in an institutional grade, I wouldn't be comfortable having everything on a cold wallet. I wouldn't, because I don't know how, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easier. You can have your beneficiaries on your institutional grade custody account. It's easy for your family members to get to that. So I would consider diversifying if you wanted them. And you know what, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Some people are just hardcore all cold wallet, and they think anything in an institutional grade custody account is crazy. But to me, I feel the opposite. I feel like, why wouldn't you diversify and make sure that you reduce your risk and stuff like that? Some people have gotten all of their crypto taken off of a cold wallet, right? And so, but I also think, don't have it all on the institutional account either. Have some on a cold wallet, because it gives you sovereignty and it's yours. And even if it's a small amount, long term, that is just yours, safely, you don't have to touch it. Yep, it's never wise. And you are, first of all, thank you for the generosity. Never disclose how much you have. It's not wise. And I always say that, you know what I mean? I always say that, but yes, please diversify. Now, let me give you something really quickly that I want you guys to consider two different things, okay? Um, because I want you to walk away tonight knowing exactly what the adjustments are that you need to take, okay? Very simple, right? Mindset is important. I love this. Mindset is so important. Information to act on is important. Relationships are important. I'm excited about this month. I am excited too. And I don't know, like again, you got to have a bigger picture, calm yourself, start building, start structuring, take this time, use it wisely. The first thing, again, I can tell you is please stop with your spending. I know people don't want to hear this. I keep saying it. If you are spending the same way you were 2 years ago, you are making a huge mistake. The cost of everything has gone up, which means your margins have gone down, which means every dollar you waste now is a dollar that you do not have available when the opportunity shows up. That's why some people are like, I don't have no more money, because you may have spent it on something. And opportunity is showing up. Trust me. I'm watching it every single day. Look, you had defense stocks people could have invested in. You got commodities that people could have invested in. But listen, none of that matters if you don't have capital available to act on it. The wealthy are not, listen, I know y'all think wealthy people are wealthy because they earn a lot of money and a lot of money come through their hands. Not always. The wealthy are not wealthy because they always earn more. They are wealthy because they keep more. They protect their capital. They cut before they have to, not after. Everybody wait until like, oh, I ain't got enough. You should have been cutting. I've been saying this. Go back and watch my videos from the beginning of 2025. I've been talking about this for a year now, like cutting your spending and reallocating them. When the window opens, you want dry powder. You want something ready to deploy while everybody is scrambling and trying to figure out where their next paycheck is going to come from. Number two, let me say this too, and then I'm gonna share something that's very important, right? Say I'm waiting on a dip under a dollar. I love it. I think it'll do fine. I'm not as invested in it. I only have a little bit of it because I'm focused on kind of like my top 10, which I shared in my membership for YouTube, right? We need to stop buying into poor and invest the money that yes, throwing away into, yes. Why? Because I'm telling you, some people are on the wrong side of this. They're about to get X out. The wealthy will get wealthier. And you know what? You shouldn't get mad about it because that ain't got nothing to do with you. The most mature grown up thing anybody can do is take responsibility for themselves and where they are. The moment you do that, the moment you take that mirror away from everybody else and start putting it in front of your face is the moment you grow up. It takes a grown person to look in a mirror and say, you know what, if I don't have enough money, if I'm not content, if I don't like my job, if I don't like my finances, that is all on me. And you know what's empowering about that? Because I don't want to disempower you. I want to empower you. What's empowering about that is you are the person that can change that situation. And one of the things that you can do, or you can tell your kids the same conversation I had, is you can help them to understand how to get the skills that they need for the world that's coming, right? If you're thinking about over the next 3 to 5 years, okay, that's really what's going to separate people. Skill. AI is not coming. AI is here. It is already, again, restructuring how companies hire, how work gets done, how the industries are operating. You're going to think about this, and I might have mentioned this before, but you talking about one person doing a transaction between another person. No, you're going to have AI doing transactions with AI. That's how fast money is about to move. And guess what? Money about to move so fast. That's why I love XRP, because XRP is going to allow money to move fast, and you're not going to have all these pre-funded accounts and all these intermediaries and all of these blockages and this stuff taking 2 and 3 days to get to you. When money start moving like that, things are going to explode. And the infrastructure that's able to allow money to move like that man, you are literally investing in the next financial infrastructure. I'm telling you, that's all I can say. But if you are relying on a single skill that you built 10 years ago and you ain't got nothing new, all right, let me just be honest. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys because that's what I do. You are becoming less valuable every single month, whether you feel that way or not. You are. And I'm not saying that again to be harsh. I'm saying that because the economy rewards value. We just got to know what it is. The economy rewards value. It always has, and value is not static. What was valuable 5 years ago might be automated by next year. So you need to be asking yourself honestly, what do I know how to do that the market will pay me for in the next 2 to 5 years if you're young? Okay. Or you can just, you can keep investing and make, and I'm not talking about today, I'm talking about in 2 years. If you can't answer that question clearly, I want you to know that's your biggest bottleneck right now. So work on it. Oil is not your biggest bottleneck. Inflation is not your biggest bottleneck. Your boss, the president, the economy, the Democrats, the Republicans, they're not your biggest bottleneck. Your own relevance is your biggest bottleneck. And that's what you got to work on. Let me look at the comments. I just want to be real with you guys. Say family office vibe. This is why I love you. You're trying to help. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Maybe non-working people who need this. Yeah. Like you want to be able to, when do you exit Robinhood with your XRP? I don't keep XRP on Robinhood. I don't like XRP on Robinhood. I don't like XRP on the exchanges either. I don't have them on the only time I have them on the exchanges is when I'm buying orders, but it's a small amount and I move it over right away. Right? You stopping at 1K, and that may be your point of stop. And you're like, hey, I feel accomplished. I feel good about this. And yeah, that's your game plan. And I love that you have a game plan and that you even expressing it. What do I think XRP will go to long term? I think XRP could potentially go to 4 and 5 digits in the long term. And a lot of people will call me crazy for it, and that's fine. But that's what I believe. All right. And I stick to my convictions. Right. And I study a lot of what XRP is used for and how it's used for institutions and stuff. And I think people who are viewing XRP are limiting it to the market cap. Do you understand that BlackRock just said everything will be tokenized? You're talking about a $2 trillion market cap. No, we're talking let's times that by 100. Okay. So the market cap, we can't look at today and try to guess what XRP will be by the restrictions of the market cap and all of this other nonsense. Right? People underestimated where Amazon would go. They underestimated where Microsoft would go. They underestimated where Nvidia would go. Everybody underestimate good companies or good assets. Heck, they underestimated where gold could go and silver could go at this point because it reached all-time highs. Some people said silver would never get over like $25. So I'm just saying that. Here's a big one. They underestimated where Bitcoin could go. Right? And XRP is not Bitcoin. XRP is actually can be needed. Bitcoin is not needed, y'all. Bitcoin just show what's possible. Store of value. That's it. It's not even needed, right? What about when you got something that's actually needed? Settlement infrastructure, use case scenario, okay, with institutional adoption and can be used during a crisis. Actually, a crisis is the perfect opportunity. A crisis makes XRP more valuable. All right. So, but that's my thoughts. What price? Oh, okay. I did that one. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on it. Because I understand XRP, but a lot of people don't understand XRP. I'm going to tokenize your love. So, right. All right. XRPL. Thank you so much for this. XRPL and XRP futures. The same thing. No, XRP is the ledger on which, and XRP is the native coin. Okay. Should we be purchasing the latter? You purchase XRP. XRP lives on the XRPL, but there's other coins, there's other assets that can technologies that can also live on the XRPL as well. They may actually have Bitcoin on the XRPL at some point. That's one of the ways where I feel like it can survive. But XRP is the ledger on which on which these technologies move. Okay, just like banks got ledgers as well, but they don't have like they don't have a blockchain. Okay, so blockchains are ledgers. Banks also have ledgers as well. Blockchains are ledgers, but not every ledger is a blockchain, right? So XRP is the ledger on which the value moves, where fast settlement happens. XRP is just their native coin. Okay, so it's a neutral asset that can move money, like it can convert your one currency into XRP, and then it can move, and then it can convert back on the other end, and it doesn't require anybody. It's fast, it's cheap. I love it. But yeah, the investment comes in XRP. So yeah, XRP has more purpose. Absolutely. With BlackRock and Uniswap, what are they up to? Well, BlackRock is, again, they're up to trying to tokenize everything right now, right? I love XLM also. Okay. So imagine, let's see this one. This one was, imagine the price Bitcoin with utility. Yeah. And that's why, there's a lot of talk about maybe Bitcoin going to $1 million. And I think if it can be utilized like on the XRPL, for example, if they get a way to utilize it on the ledger, man, absolutely. Absolutely. You guys, I don't think a lot of people are thinking futuristic. Okay. Listen, right now, what's going on, because a lot of people do complain about the economy. The economy don't care about your feelings or your excuses. It don't care about your job being stressful. It don't care about you being tired. It don't even care about you not understanding macro events. You got to get educated. The economy responds to positioning. And positioning is something that happens is something that happens with your involvement. It's not something that happens to you without any involvement. Okay. It's something you build. It's deliberate. It's consistent. So I heard something years ago that left me, and it said, someone said, if you will change, everything will change for you. If you will change, not the government again, not your boss, not the market, not the prices, not the price of XRP, if you change your habits, your income, um, your skill set, right? Or your skill set will help your income. But if you change and you change your habits, your income is going to change. If you change your knowledge, your opportunities are going to change. If you change your discipline, your entire trajectory is going to be different. It's going to change. And the opposite is also true. Let me go on the other side of this. If you stay the same, your results gonna stay the same. Your money gonna stay the same. Your relationships gonna stay the same. Your emotional intelligence is gonna stay the same. And in an economy that is moving this fast, y'all, I'm telling you, staying the same is falling behind, and you're gonna fall behind quick, because the gap between knowing and doing is crucial. I would say some people know that they should be doing this stuff. Like, for example, if you don't have your cold wallet, what you doing? You might have opened up an ITRUST account, but did you fund it? Did you finish it? Okay. There are just things that you need to finish on the other end. Also, and I said I would share this. If you are holding XRP or any digital asset and you're not thinking about the taxes, because some people do want to sell, of course, but you got to have a tax strategy. So if you don't, you're leaving money on the table. And I always say one of the most powerful tools right now is a Roth IRA. Okay. It lets you hold your crypto inside of it, and when it appreciates, you do not have to pay taxes on that. And I know some people who have those accounts, not even for themselves, but they like, oh, this is for my grandchild, or this is for my children. So some people have them for different reasons. It doesn't have to be a retirement account. It's just an account that you get to benefit off of with taxes. Okay. And then also they do have a premium account for those who want institutional grade custody. And that's if you're serious about long-term holding, you want yield, you want staking and rewards and things like that. Imagine it appreciating and you getting yield on top of that. All right. And so I always say, take it off the exchanges, whether it's a cold wallet, ITRUST Capital. The exchanges, they freeze, they get volatile. You want proper custody, even to pass on to your children or whoever your beneficiaries are. Okay. That's how the wealthy think. They think about storage and security. Another thing that a lot of people don't know is now they have an account for business owners and LLC holders. So they have what you call a treasury account. So if you have an LLC, and I have 3 accounts with them, I have all 3. If you have an LLC or a trust, you can open that account specifically for your business entity, and you can start positioning assets at a corporate level. Really, that's at a corporate level to have a treasury account. So of course, that's next level wealth architecture, and most people don't even know that that's available. And they will be having, and I'm excited about this part, they're going to have kids accounts. They said they're looking at around Q2, but they're going to be rolling out kids accounts, and I can't wait, because listen, my kids, all their names going to be on those accounts. Also, there's $100 funding bonus to help you get started. If you use the link in the description, you will get $100 funding bonus when you fund your account. And so I recommend it because I'm using it myself. Okay. Also, I do want to mention this. If you feel like, okay, this is a lot of information, I need help actually like putting all of this together, the structure, the accountability, the portfolio blueprint, even just the confidence and the clarity, that is what our coaching program is for. I do have one-on-ones also, and that's been filling up all month. So I do have, if you want personalized strategy, but we're going to help you build a plan and hold you accountable to it. Okay. What we do is we build wealth, and all of those links are in the description. I'm just going to the, I'm going to go to the chats and see if there's any. All right, thank you so much, America. I always stop with that a caver, America caver. I always trip up on that for some reason. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. My long-term goal is to accumulate 10K. I love the goal. Yes. XRP, talking to friends about XRP is so much easier than talking to family about it. Yeah. I don't know what it is about family that's just like not on board. Like, you know what? Y'all notice like some people are just stubborn. Some people are just stubborn. They're just not flexible. They're not nimble at all. And the older you get, it gets worse. So one of my prayers have always been to God because I've seen the stubbornness of just people. And I'm like, God, please don't ever let me be old and stubborn. Like I always want to be like self-aware and reflective and open. And even if I don't agree, like even just the static mindset even people have with politics and stuff to the point where it angers them. That's not healthy. That is unhealthy. And everything about your life is a sign of something that's not, you know what I mean? Like if you, it don't matter what it is. Like if you're easily super angry and static and aggressive and it just makes me mad, and you watch the news and get mad because somebody on the other side or a party that like something about you is stubborn and static and not flexible, not because you stand your position, but because it makes you overly aggressively angry about something ain't right about. That's not healthy. Why are we like this? Like why? And you get, I don't understand why we're like this, why we're so angry, and to the point where you got external things that would take away your joy. Sorry, I got into this, but it's just I just want everybody to evaluate themselves. But it made me think about it because it's like when you say talking to family about it, sometimes family get mad when they disagree with you. Like, are you're into that crypto? You know that's a scam. Like it's like even if you don't agree with it, why are you mad? You got to evaluate that about yourself because something ain't right. And if you get that upset over something that you disagree with, you'll never be open to the new. You only are open to what you already know. That means, you know what that means? You'll never grow. You're going to have arrested development. Arrested. Your development is arrested because anything that goes against your thinking makes you upset. And that's why you got people who, I'm gonna be honest, 60 years old, that really are they really 15 still. Okay, 60 and 70 years old, they really feel. I saw a 62-year-old lady fighting on Instagram just last night. She's sitting up fighting and cussing like a teenager. I was like, arrested development. Like at some point, grow up. Anyway, y'all know me. I believe in maturity. I believe in growth and personal development and evolving. You know what I'm saying? Like and enlarging your territory and expanding your mind. And I'm that person. So growing your money, growing your mindset. Stabilizing your. I just like growth. Okay, anything that ain't growing is dead. Okay. Yes, XLM between 7 cents and 15 cents is awesome. I actually got limit orders all the way down to 8 cents if it ever hits it. Let's see. I sold all of my investments in stocks and have hated. I was for oh wow, tariff when it was first hit caused me to close to 10K quickly. So I sold. I have a couple of thousand to invest in. Hey, you got a couple thousand to invest? You start one day at a time. And you dollar cost average. You don't have to go all in. You can get, honestly, like, again, I'm just giving you an example. Nothing I say is financial advice. Okay, this is for educational purposes only. But you got enough to even start with, like, hey, I'm gonna just get 100 XRP. I got a couple thousand to invest. Let me get 100 XRP. If you want to reinvest back into stocks, that's fine. For me, the opportunity right now is more in cryptocurrency because it's beat down. And not only that, it's beat down and we got hope. We got good news every day. So what you got to realize is none of these prices are reflecting the value of cryptocurrency. None of them. Obviously, y'all know we getting good news every day. That's what makes people so upset. But to me, it makes me happy because it's like you got price suppression, you got all of this good news. Where do you think this is going to eventually end up in the long run? Right. So the opportunity is there. We're still waiting on, some strong pullbacks for the stock market. It's starting to pull back a little bit. The weekly on the S&P 500 wasn't looking good. It dropped below last week. I think it closed under some levels that kind of puts an alarm up, like we might be going, even if it goes up, we might be falling a lot lower. So those will be good opportunities to buy when the stock market crashes as well. So but honestly, $2,000 can go a long way in investments. Remember, you're not thinking today, you're thinking the future. So imagine where that amount of money could go in the future. When you zoom out, it look good. A lot of people don't have $2,000. You're blessed. You're blessed. You got to see the opportunity in that. You're blessed. Even if something bad came out of it, you still blessed, because a lot of people don't even have money to pay their bills right now. Okay. So I just say use that $2,000 wisely and invest in things that you have conviction about. They're printing money. We're in inflation. What does that mean? That means that we're going to go into hyperinflation. It don't matter. At the end of the day, you can spend it whatever which way. We are in the structure of debt. Things will rise, and along with things rising, assets will rise with it. So inflation assets protect inflation because they rise with them. But if you got your money in a devaluing, that's why even for some people who are like, well, I'm gonna sell my XRP, and it's like, well, you're selling your XRP for a devaluating currency that's going to be replaced by XRP in the future, right? People will be able to move these assets, and eventually, if everything is on the blockchain, then that means you'll be able to trade value on the blockchain. You can have diamonds on the blockchain. You might have Amazon on the blockchain. You might have Nvidia on the blockchain. You got because stocks and bonds and anything and everything. Your house will be on the blockchain, and so you'll be able to exchange value. That's how you're gonna buy and sell things, right? So you're gonna want those assets, because those assets are gonna get you a lot further in life. If you can buy stuff with an asset that's at a higher value, right? Then yeah, let's invest in these assets that will help our future, right? I don't have predictions on HBAR. I think HBAR is going to do amazing. I don't know how far HBAR, and I don't know if you mean like for this cycle or just in the long run, because there's a difference between a speculative bull run. Like there will be some speculation. Sometimes you get the Clarity Act and stuff, and the retail will bring these prices up. There can be speculative runs, but then there's also structural runs, meaning when it gets repriced because it's implemented, it's integrated, it's structural, right? So there's a different what we've seen before on the cycle for cryptocurrency are speculative runs. They're not institutional adoption. They're not structured. So once things are structured and they're used by institutions at scale, that's the word that I keep saying, at scale, because that makes a difference. And once the market cap is expanded, then yeah, those assets will reflect that, you know. Yeah, check out all the links in the description. Let me see, I got another super chat. All right, thank you so much for this donation. I appreciate you investing in the channel, and I just want to speak blessings over you. Hollywood is showing us that crypto is the future. Yeah, in movies like G20 and Still the Battle is Over, crypto, cold wallets, knocking. Oh yeah, they've been showing us for a long time, y'all. I mean, they've been showing us what the future is. And again, remember, everything is going to be automated. You're gonna have AI and robotics and robots diving into these transactions, and you know what I mean. Humans are being replaced. I'm watching little like delivery things just ran. I'm like, oh well, excuse me, why? Okay, like, and then they stop in front of you and everything, and I'm like, go ahead then, okay. So, but they get little robots delivering stuff, and so it's gonna become normalized. All right, that's the world we're living in, and you're either gonna get in or you're gonna get left. I mean, I really, when I tell y'all, I think so many people gonna suffer, and it's gonna be people who are not even really poor, but they're gonna become poor just because they did not take the time to invest, and set up structure and just get their portfolio. You know what I'm saying? Get their structure, get their assets, invest. They got scared. They're holding cash. Got that old mindset. Not that you should hold cash for opportunity, but I mean, like you can like too scared to get in because it's like, I need the right time. I need certainty. I don't know. And no, you're going to get left behind. You're done. You're done. 5 years later, you're done. Inflation, AI, you're done. Assets are, you're gonna be outpriced. Now you're trying to catch up and that's what people gonna do. This stuff start exploding, institutional adoption, and now they come in. And you know what? You got to think about this. Just let me. This may not be true, but it's just gonna give you something to think about. Okay, I'm not saying this is true, but let me just give you something really quickly to think about. Institutions are not going in at scale because they're waiting for the Clarity Act. Okay, they're waiting on regulations. They can't. It's just too risky for them when you got trillions of dollars on the sidelines. When they do start going in and things get settled, and banks and everybody, and it gets out there, do you think they're gonna want you to hold you? You got to understand, banks and institutions and stuff, sometimes they're very greedy. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are greedy. They don't want retail. They don't want you. They don't want the average person to get in. Right now, it's cool because it's not a lot of people in. But how do you know that they're not going to, in the future, take this from the public, take these opportunities from the public? How do you know that? How do you know they're not going to say, you got to be a private investor? You got to be an accredited investor. Your net worth has to be $1 million. Like right now, you can't buy Ripple unless you're an accredited investor or you're a part of like a club. You know what I'm saying? Like in Vancouver, Canada, it don't matter how much money you got. You can't rent out the Vancouver club unless you're a member. It ain't even about money. It's about status and like membership and like you're not a part of this group, right? So what happens if, and I'm not saying this is, but you know how they do us. Right? What happens when they come and say, no, now you got to be, you got to have this in order to invest. You got to have that. What if they start putting guardrails around you? So not only is the price higher, which prices you out and you barely got anything to survive because of inflation and getting fired, because you got to remember 50% of people are going to get over the next 5 years. People gonna get fired left and right. Boom, boom, boom. We got robots replacing you. Get out of here. The robots don't need a break or a sick day or anything. You out of here. Right? And so you got that happening, the replacement, people not having enough skill, inflation happening, assets being repriced, everything going up in cost. And now you're chasing and you can't even, and then they come in and they say, oh, wait, you got to have a net worth of this much before you get into it. So they're going to try to scoop. They're going to probably do whatever they can. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's the way I think. They're going to figure out a way to get you out of this. That's why this is the opportune time. Okay. I promise you it's the opportune time. Like the video if you haven't already. It's the opportune time. And if you're not investing in these assets, in financial infrastructure, the global world order reset, you are on the wrong side. And I want you to get on the right side because I don't want you to wake up and you realize that the opportunity isn't there anymore. I love this. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Well, I'm 72 and still growing, and I love it. And I know you are because you always on here, and it just blows my mind, to see people who are still who still age in grace and they're learning. I'm like, God, that's what I want to do. Like, I don't ever want to be stuck on like stubborn or stuck on stupid. You know what I mean? Like and I've had family members that actually say stuff like this. I'm too old to change. I was like, God, don't ever make me like that. Please, if I get like that, get somebody to come and just slap me upside my face. Like, I don't care if it's my kids. I don't care who it is. Get somebody to come and challenge that. That is a toxic, deadly mindset. And I don't like toxic mindsets, right? Bye. XRP is going to go crazy. I believe it to be true. You will never have this chance again. I believe it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for these technologies. Thank you so much, Diane. I appreciate this so much. Probably enough to do anything you want. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Right. You own most of the financial currency of the future. That's what I believe. If you own financial infrastructure, you own the currency of the future. Imagine owning a portion of the currency of the future, right? A commodity, y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. In your opinion, do you think we will see these huge price appreciations for XLM, HBAR, XLM? Some people are saying 10 years. Well, nobody really knows how long it will be. And I know 10 years, it sounds like a long time, but I don't think 10 years is a long time when you look up. People who look up 10 years and they have this these price points, they're not going to be sad, trust me. But I you know we say 10 years, but I don't think it'll take 10 years, because again, um institutional adoption at scale happening in 2026, by the end of 2026, if that happens, I think we'll see some structure happening a lot sooner than 10 years. 10 years is just a good way to psychologically stable your patience level and give you just the fortification and the fortitude to be able to be in this for the long run, and just to set and not to be swayed emotionally and stuff. If you thinking this going to happen tomorrow, it's just not the case, right? So but it gives you that endurance, okay, to understand that you really do have to kind of think 10 years out. I mean, you really do, because even if these prices, wealth is not about, y'all, I don't want y'all to confuse this. Wealth is not just about how much money. Even if these prices went high tomorrow, there's a lot of work to do to secure your wealth, to grow your wealth, to establish, for a legacy for your family. Like, it's work to do, and that don't take a year or two or three. Like, that takes time. You gotta educate yourself to scale at the amount of money that you have. Like, so yeah, we have possibility for institutional adoption this year, even with the reverse carry trade. You know what I'm saying? For institutional adoption for even XRP, and then people to start coming in, and then the Clarity Act could spin that off. But I'm saying you got to think 10 years out, because wealthy people make decade type moves. They're not thinking like, so it's not just about the money. I know people just looking at the money, but no, like, because if you get money and you don't have any growth, you don't have tax strategies, you'll find yourself back broke in 5 years. I promise you will. So this is more than that. And this is why I say it's not just money. Go back and even watch my video about, why Floyd Mayweather is going back fighting at 50 years old with a 50-0 record. At a 50-0 record, making him $1.2 billion. Why would you want to go back and get hit in the face again at 50 years old? Just in 2017 or 2018 or something, you was just fighting. You came out of retirement to fight, and you was old then. You was like 40 just 9 years ago. So look at that, 10 years. Just 9 years ago, he was fighting in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena, a MMA fighter, and they made a lot of money, because I was at that fight. And I know how much those tickets cost. Okay. They made hundreds of millions of dollars for that fight. So even and you got to come back 10 years later. What happened in them 10 years, brother? What happened in them 10 years? So 10 years is not a long time. I guarantee you ask him, did them 10 years fly by quick? Yes, it did. You getting back in a fight to get your face beat in at 50 years old when you made $1.2 billion. You should be somewhere in Dubai. You should be on a boat somewhere, on a yacht somewhere, living your life with your grandkids, and not even worrying about getting beat in the face at 50 years old. That doesn't make any sense to me, right? So we got a plan. We got a plan to not do that. Now, I'm not saying he probably got money and stuff, but he's still somehow in trouble. You're not coming back to a ring if you're not in trouble. He in trouble somehow. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe got to pay taxes or whatever. I don't know. But the math ain't mathing for me. Okay. So just looking to see if I have any super chats. If you grow up, you really might level up. I'm just saying. Yep. Let's know that we all got to grow up, man. And listen, personal development is the whole goal of life. Your life is about growth. All this other stuff should be contributing to that growth. Okay. But life is about growth, right? And when you change, then that's when things will start to change for you in your life. You'll start seeing the outcomes, and you'll start getting the results that you want. But it starts with you. And I want you to know that. So get your plans together, open up your accounts. All the links are in the description. Open up your iTrust account, get your cold wallet together. If you want to, I'll be doing a video on Caleb and Brown. I just did an interview with them. But so that'll be released or whatever. And you know what? My mind was blown with just some of the stuff that I found out, even in the interview myself, interviewing one of their partners at Caleb and Brown. My mind was blown. It was one of the partner managers. Just learning about what they're doing and how secure Caleb and Brown is. And I listen, I dug in. I asked everything. I'm like, what happens if your company go out of business? What happens if this happens? So and they went through all of that, and I was really impressed. So be on the lookout for that video. I just, it'll be out soon. It'll be out soon. So and so you guys can get to know a little bit more about Caleb and Brown. And then also I'm going to do ITRUST Capital will actually be with us next Wednesday on a live to answer questions. So if y'all got questions with ITRUST Capital, let it roll. And the guy who I'm going to interview, very, very, very smart guy, understand the markets. He understands the native coin. He's an XRP lover. He's a very smart guy. So make sure you guys are here next Wednesday for my live. I will be interviewing one of their intellectuals at ITRUST Capital. And I'll share this. Thank you so much. Jamie, Camila, I don't know how to say thank you enough for sharing so much information. You're awesome. Thank you. I told my sister about you and she went right away and bought a cold water. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love when y'all take action. I love that. And one more right here, Tiffany, just a friendly reminder. Please keep the YouTube community guidelines in mind when commenting. If this information does not suit you, please feel free to log off. Thank you. Yeah, and that's the truth. And a lot of times I just ignore some of the stuff. I know some of the FUD is there, and you know all of that. It don't bother me at all. It's all kinds of people that exist in communities. But yes, if you don't like it, I always say, why are you sitting here listening still if you don't like it, or if you're mad, or if whatever. And you know what? Nothing I say should make you mad. You better look at yourself in the mirror, because I'm on here on my YouTube page trying to give value. And if you mad about it, or you got a cuss, or you got a fuss and all of that other stuff, for what? I ain't done nothing to you. You upset because of something that's going on with you, and you got to check that. Remember what I said. The greatest thing you can do, the most mature thing you can do, is take responsibility. And as always, I want you to stay wise, stay wealthy, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.